Are you tired of dealing with those pesky headaches that always seem to be getting in the way at just the worst times? In this video, we're going to be discussing the common headache triggers as well as what you can do for each of them. You'll be shocked to learn the possible culprits behind your headaches. So watch now to learn which one resonates most deeply with you. Many people suffer with headaches on a very regular basis, and they don't know what the actual trigger is behind it. It may seem random, and it may seem like there's no connection to anything, but if you don't know what you're looking for, it can be hard to find a connection. Now, to be clear, today we're not talking about, oh, I woke up one morning with a headache and then it was gone by the next day, and the last time I had a headache was years ago. Really what we're talking about is when you get headaches on a more regular basis. Now, the frequency can vary, and I don't want to give you necessarily firm numbers, but if you can see a regular pattern of headaches in your life, this is what we want to find the root cause of, because you don't want to be suffering from headaches regularly. And many people really struggle to find what that root cause of their headaches is because they don't know exactly what triggers to look for. So if you're not sure what could be causing the headache in the first place, then you definitely don't know what to do to work on it. You may have even looked on YouTube to try to find some answers, and they haven't worked for you because it may not be your real cause. So today we're going to be talking about the most common causes of headaches as well as what you can do for each of them. The first most common cause of headaches many people hear about and say, oh, that's definitely not me. Let's swipe on because I'm sure I don't suffer with that problem. But hear me out, friends. The most common cause of headaches is actually dehydration. And many people think, oh, I drink enough water every day. But do you know what actually enough water is? And do you know how to quantify how much water you're drinking? Now, the research varies on how much water we should drink every day, but in general, 80 ounces is a good basis to go off of. If you struggle with being able to measure your water, then usually what I recommend is getting a container that holds 80 ounces of water. It may take more than one container, filling them all up in the morning and lining them up next to the sink or putting them at different places throughout the house or in your car where you'll run across them during the day. So for some people, they have a really long commute to work, and it can be really helpful to just down a bottle of water while you're on your way to work. I mean, you're kind of sitting there anyway, so it might be a good time to get that water in. But to be fair, depending on your body size as well as your exercise amount, 80 ounces may actually not be enough water for you. That may actually be part of the cause of your dehydration. So here's a simpler way to do this that you can implement today. Drink enough water that your pee is clear, and drink enough water to keep your pee clear. Now, I know that sounds impossible, and I will tell you it is definitely super challenging, but it gives you a way to check where you are regularly throughout the day, because you can check every time you go to the bathroom. So getting to clear can be difficult, and I understand that. However, if it's very dark and concentrated, then you definitely know that you are not drinking enough water. So it gives you a way to check and make sure that you're getting enough water. Try the clear pee test for a week and see if you notice a change in your water habits. And of course, further from that, then if you're well hydrated, and you know you're well hydrated because your pee's light or clear, then you can see if that's what's causing your headaches. The second most common cause of headaches many people are willing to identify with, but it's very difficult to change, and that is not getting enough sleep every day. In our culture today, it is go, 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 and many people have difficulty finding enough time to be able to get the adequate amount of sleep that they need to deal with their headaches. And I get it. We all have a lot of things to do on our plate. However, if your lack of sleep is what's causing your headaches, it's going to make you more tired throughout the day, less productive throughout the day, and it's going to make it more difficult to get everything you want done, which then means you stay up later because you're having a hard time getting everything done. Sometimes it can be better to put everything to the side and say, listen, I just got to get a good night's sleep so that I can get rid of this headache so I can function during my day. Now, how much sleep do you need? That does vary by person, but I definitely recommend 7 to 9 hours a night. And I know you're listening to that and you're saying that's literally impossible, and I get it. I struggle with this myself. But hitting that 7 hours, I think you'll notice a huge change in how your body feels overall and a huge change in your headaches. And the one cause of headaches that so many people quickly identify is the fact that we have so much stress in our life. From the time we get up and look at our phones, if you watch the news, talking to friends, scrolling on social media, you may have stress at work or in your home. We are bombarded on a consistent basis. It is really important to manage your stress as best you can. And I know you can't always control everything that's happening around you, but you can control two things. One, how much you expose yourself to, and two, how you process through that. So for some people, it may be turning off the news. For some people, it may be getting rid of social media. For some people, it may mean changing their mental habits and how they respond to the stress that's in their life. It's important whenever you find yourself in a stressful situation to think, how do I choose to react to this situation? You can fight, or you can flight, or you can hide. And you have to decide which one do you want to do. And after you get out of the stressful situation, is there a better way to handle this in the future? Now, this can be difficult if it's someone who you regularly expose to, like someone at work or someone in your family. That can be a challenge, and changing those patterns can be more difficult. However, if every time you get on Facebook or Instagram, you get triggered by something, maybe just turning that off and not looking at it for a week could help decrease your stress significantly. Now, one thing that a lot of people don't know about is that certain foods can actually trigger headaches. And this can be difficult because often it is the foods that we tend to eat the most. So some people are triggered by foods such as dairy, some people are triggered by gluten, and you may have different triggers because we can all have different food allergies. I mean, every body is different. But if you suffer from headaches on a regular basis and you are sleeping well, you are hydrated, and you are managing your stress, then I definitely recommend looking into some food allergy testing, because it could be that something that you're eating is causing your headaches. Now, here's the thing. Like I said, most commonly it is something that you eat regularly, because we tend to get into this negative feedback loop in regards to food allergies, where we actually eat the thing that we're allergic to. And I know it's the weirdest thing to think about, but it's what our bodies do. So if you find regularly that you have, let's say, dairy every day, and you suffer with headaches on a regular basis, try giving up dairy for a month and see if your headaches decrease or are completely eliminated. That would be the simple way to do it. Now, if you're saying to yourself, there's absolutely no way I'm giving up dairy unless I know that's what's causing my headaches, then I would encourage you to find a nutritionist or a naturopath who can do some food allergy testing and find out specifically what foods your body should be avoiding. Now, if I'm talking to a patient and they have already dealt with all of those issues, then often what we find is the culprit of their headaches is neck tension. You see, all the muscles that attach at the base of our skull usually run down our neck and into our shoulders. So if you tend to have a lot of stress that you carry in your shoulders, if you tend to sit for prolonged periods of time at work, if you tend to work on a computer and find yourself hunching over at the end of the day, all of these things can lead to increased neck and shoulder tension, which can then pull on those muscles and lead to headaches. Now, people who struggle with neck tension that's causing their headaches usually find that they have more headaches in the evening or towards the end of the work week. A lot of times they won't have headaches on the weekends because they're doing less sitting, they're moving around more, they're not on the computer, and probably their stress is decreased on the weekends. So the headaches tend to go away. So if you tend to find yourself in a cyclical pattern where it's more headaches Thursday, Friday, or it's after you get home from work, then chances are good that what's happening with your headaches is that they're stress induced. So I'm going to link a video at the end of this one that shows what you can do if your headaches are caused by neck tension. It's some different exercises and stretches that you can implement at home. So I encourage you to check that out. I also encourage you to make sure that you're dealing with the other issues that we discussed here. Want to make sure you're hydrating well, you're sleeping well, and that you're eating foods that are nourishing to your body and not irritating and contributing to your headaches.